Attempted coup in Russia over the weekend. Joining me now for a closer look at what's happening on the ground is defence and security analyst Professor Michael Clarke, who's in the studio. Michael, what's been going on there over the last sort of 24, 48 hours? Have Ukraine taken the opportunity of the turmoil in Russia to make any advances on the ground?
Yes, Jane, I mean, they haven't changed their strategy, but they're doing more of what they were doing before. And whereas last week we were looking at 3 areas where they were pushing quite hard and going sideways, trying to sort of break the Russians' defensive shape, now there's the 6 areas. So if you look at the map, there's now sort of 6 big areas. I mean, Bakhmut in the north, through to Vuhledar, towards Tokmak. And now, one thing we were saying last week, which now is confirmed, they have crossed the river, the Dnieper River, at Novokhovka, and across the Antonovsky Bridge at Kherson. And so they've established a bridgehead, and the Russians have admitted this, and they've counterattacked that bridgehead, not especially successfully, but they have. And so what's happening is that the Ukrainians are, I think, taking the opportunity to widen the front of their pressure. And Reznikov, who's the defence minister in Kiev, he said, we're not ready yet, this isn't the main attack, but we are doing well. And Zelensky said the same. So we've had a pretty good day or so. And I think what they've done is they've used this opportunity to increase the pressure all the way across the front to see where the gaps are. And the Ministry of Defence, our own British Ministry of Defence, are now reporting, they say that they think the Russians are having trouble finding the reserves to conduct these counterattacks. So they are getting stretched sideways. And interestingly, of course, we don't know what's happening to the Wagner Group. And the Wagner Group make up to 25% of the forces actually fighting on the Russian front line. And so the Wagner Group had withdrawn in order to rest and reorganise after Bakhmut, and they needed that. And the expectation was, well, they'll come forward again as part of these counterattacks. Well, they probably won't be doing that now. And so the Russians may have lost a rather important part of their reinforcement process.
And, of course, they've also lost the head of the Wagner Group, Prigozhin. What do we know of what's going on with him? What is the current situation between him and Putin?
Yes, well, I mean, lots more questions than answers. We don't know if he's in Belarus yet, although there are aircraft being spotted flying to Minsk, and maybe he's on one of them, who knows. But he's not out of it yet. I mean, he has not given up. I mean, he issued his statement, his 11-minute statement last night, ahead of Putin's 5-minute statement. And both of them making vainglorious claims. So he said it was never a coup. I mean, Prigozhin said it was never a coup. We were just pointing out how badly the war has been conducted, and we're just showing what could really be done. That's ridiculous, but that's what he said. And then Putin has said, well, I mean, this was treason, but I have presided over a situation where we've kept the peace and so on. So both of them are claiming credit for what this mess has become. And believe me, Prigozhin is not out of it. There is interesting information now. This attempted coup started on Friday. On Wednesday last week, there was a lot of stuff going around the oligarchs that something was happening. And because that's how American intelligence picked up. There was something happening. Nobody quite knew what it was. It's not that people are behind Prigozhin making him do it, but now that Prigozhin has conducted this attempted rebellion, a lot of people are now circling around seeing how they might use it. Prigozhin is used by some people. He's hated by almost all of them. They despise him. There's said to be there's been a contract out on him for about a year now to get him killed by one of the criminal groups to actually pick him off. That may or may not still be in force. But a lot of people are circling round to see how they might manipulate the situation. And Prigozhin, believe me, is not finished.